Hi, parents. We've had a lot of conversations about prompt hierarchy and prompting, and it can be difficult on Zoom. And we use it a lot in the classroom, and we're all trying to figure out ways to adjust on Zoom. I just wanted to explain kind of what we're thinking of when we're thinking of the prompt hierarchy. So what I'm using most on Zoom is most to least prompting. So I've written out the prompt hierarchy here as what is the most intrusive and what is the least, right? So the goal is independence. So if I'm saying touch your head, that they're touching their head on their own when I ask. And we go backwards from there to try to help support them to get to independence. So you will hear me say something like, well, what should you be doing? So if we're doing a game where we're all touching our head, I might ask a student, what should you be doing? That's an indirect verbal prompt for them to help them look at what's going on and remind them to think with the group and follow directions. So that is the next level from independence. The next one is a direct verbal, and the direct verbal is touch your head. They're touching their head. That's a direct verbal prompt. I'm directly telling them what I want them to do. The next one is gestural. So we might say sit down, or we might use a gesture to help convey that prompt. And there are some, so between gesture and verbal prompting, there are some studies that say gestural would come before and some say it comes after. So everyone has their own opinion about that. So basically what we have here is I'm going to indirectly kind of remind them what they should be doing. If that doesn't work, then we're going to directly tell them what they should be doing. Next, we're going to give them some kind of gesture to remind them. After that, we're going to model. So if you're sitting next to your student and we're all touching our head, you might look at them, you might touch your head. You are modeling, you're showing them what they should be doing, and they can mimic you. Next is the partial physical prompting. So that might look something like you lifting their elbows up a little, giving that partial physical to help them do what they need to do. And the full physical prompting would be taking their arms, putting it on their head. That's full physical support to follow directions. So I'm really working in this area on Zoom, and my goal is really to hit that indirect verbal with a lot of students. And I would just like to keep in mind that a lot of times that power struggle that we've talked about before, it can be relieved a little when we are giving indirect verbal prompts to students. So that opportunity for defiance is minimized a little when they have the power themselves to think about what's going on and make the choice to do it themselves. So instead of being told to touch their head, touch your head, they don't have the opportunity to say no. If you say, what should you be doing? It gives them the power to really think about what's going on and choose to comply. So I just wanted to explain that this is the name of the game right now when we are doing our prompting online. And this is kind of what I've been talking about with some of you. So I hope it helps a little bit. Ask any questions if you have any. All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about most to least prompting. So we talked about our prompt hierarchy, and it is very difficult on Zoom to navigate the prompt hierarchy and always know how much to support your kids. So I just wanted to make some notes on here. The first thing is really securing attention. So, I'm not going to ask for the child to follow a direction if I'm not sure that I am linked in and we are in group thinking, that they are able. I want to make sure that they're set up for success and they are able to participate and follow the instruction. So once I'm sure that I have that attention, so for instance, I'm playing something like the clap song, and the child is looking, engaged, I might stop the music and give an instruction. So with this instruction in mind, so if it is the clap song, so we've had our knees, we've had our shoes. I'm looking at the verbal prompts a lot with the Zooms in this class. And so I might kind of start with an indirect prompt. I might stop the music and I might say, oh, how can we participate? Or I might give a direct verbal prompt, touch your knees, touch your knees. So I'm giving the instruction after I've really secured attention. And the third most important part of most of these prompting, and probably the hardest thing to work on via Zoom, is the wait time. So after the direction is given, we really need to wait because we need to see if the learner is able to respond independently. If not, if they respond to indirect verbal. If not, if they respond to direct verbal. So, you know, we're really trying to get that child to the independent level. And that wait time, if we don't give them the opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge, then we're not setting them up for success to be independent. So the direction I'm giving is to touch your feet. I'm not looking to see if the child can successfully touch his foot. That's not my intent. My intent is to see how many prompts it takes for the child to follow directions. So often I'll count down from 5 in my head, 5 seconds before I move throughout prompts. So I might say, how could you participate? I'm waiting. All right. So I wanted to give a couple examples. The first one we'll do is a way to successfully navigate the prompt hierarchy via Zoom. And so I am going to secure attention and give instruction. I'm going to give Amy an indirect verbal direction and vague, depending on her participation. So the first thing we're going to do is secure attention. So I might play a song. Now slap your knees. 1, 2, 3. Only in 3. Slap your knees. 1, 2, 3. Amy, how could you participate? So I have given an indirect verbal prompt and I have waited 5 seconds. So I might repeat the indirect verbal prompt or I might switch to direct verbal prompt. So I've waited, I've given her that wait time, I've waited, and I might say, Amy, touch your knees. Amy, touch your knees. Good. So I've counted down, I've given her that wait time, and she has complied. So I have been able to successfully execute my prompt hierarchy, and I have established that with just Miss Amy and just me. And I would like to try an example where we're not successfully navigating the prompt hierarchies and the parent is, I know the parents are trying to help and trying to support, but it is in a manner that is kind of interrupting our prompt hierarchy. So the same thing, I'm going to secure attention, give an instruction. Just 3 on 4, and then 3 more. All right, Miss Amy, how could you participate?
Miss Amy, touch your head. Miss Amy, touch your head. Miss Amy, touch your head.
Okay, so that is a way. So I have given Amy an indirect verbal prompt. So I've started at this level, and in an attempt to try to help, her parent is giving a direct verbal prompt and repetitively. So she, instead of me being able to start at indirect, count down and navigate to see how much support the child needs, that is being interfered by the parent skipping to direct verbal and giving multiple prompts without wait time. So that is a problem, but also the problem is that in this relationship of the prompt hierarchy and giving directions, the people that are involved to be the person giving the instruction and the learner. So it's a two-person exchange. So having somebody else there that is giving prompts as well interferes with my ability to navigate the hierarchy, and it can also create a power struggle at home, or be stressful for the student, overwhelming for the student or the parent. So that is, it's probably the most difficult thing to do on Zoom, is to give that wait time and to not support by not verbally encouraging or giving prompts to your child. But in an attempt to execute this prompt hierarchy and to really get a feel for how I can meet the student's needs at their level, I really need to have that relationship be between me and the student, and to be able to navigate through the prompting.